This is the story of a man, old in years, who refuses to believe it or to show it, either in his mind or his body. The story of a man with a prayer and a punch, and seemingly eternal youth. The story of Jersey Joe Walcott, still heavyweight champion of the world, after this, his fourth fight with Ezzard Charles in the vast Municipal Stadium in Philadelphia. The fight went the 15-round title distance, and here we are going to show you in this film 6 of the best rounds of the 15. There were no knockdowns whatever in the fight, but both men were hurt repeatedly, and there were many hard punches and much good boxing. A tough, close, earnest match all the way. Very fast, too, for heavyweights, these two men. This first round was perhaps the most even of the entire 15. The referee who comes into the picture here is Zach Clayton, and he is the first Negro ever to referee a World's Heavyweight Championship bout. Notice Walcott's quick reflexes and the fine muscles in his back. Charles, a well-built man, too. But Joe's really cat-like, and his legs are the best that I have ever seen in an athlete of his age. He says that's 38. Some say it's 38 going on 45, but that doesn't matter. He is a wonderfully trained athlete for a man even of 38. That was the right hand that Joe Louis won't forget. In the early rounds, Charles worked to the body, mostly with a left hook, and a few times was on the belt line. That time it was Walcott with the left hook and the right counter. All through the fight, right to the end, Jersey Joe was trying to land a knockout punch. He knew he had it. He couldn't get it across. Neither could Charles, although Charles doesn't hit quite as hard. So ended round 1. Still all even, still nobody hurt. Ray Arcel gets ready to send Charles out for round 5. In this fight, Ezzard Charles was battling against the jinx that says no man who ever held the World's Heavyweight Championship can re-win it. Jim Corbett couldn't. He tried twice. Jim Jeffries, the Boilermaker, couldn't. Nor Jack Dempsey, the Manasseh Mauler. Nor Joe Louis, the Brown Bomber. No man yet ever has won back the heavyweight crown after he lost it. Nor is Charles ever likely to have a finer opportunity than he had in this fight. But there before him all the time was the old man who would not be denied, who didn't mean to lose that title, and who didn't lose it, although the fight was close and hard all the way. Again, Jersey Joe missed the right hand that might have made a big difference in the fight. Repeatedly, both fighters missed with haymakers that might have turned the tide of battle. Not that they missed all the time. There were many hard punches landed both to the head and to the body. Charles ended with his face badly battered. Walcott was bleeding from the nose at the finish of the fight, and the left side of his body was badly raked. Both sides, as a matter of fact, but the left side was worse. Jersey Joe has almost quit that jigging that he did in the fights with Joe Louis, the two fights with Louis, both of which he lost officially, though many thought he won the first one, and the heavyweight championship then. The second time, of course, Louis knocked him out. But not before Jersey Joe had had the bomber on the decks, as he did several times in their two fights. Of course, it was from this same Charles that Jersey Joe won the title on July the 18th, 1951, under murky skies in Forbes Field, Pittsburgh. And that night he did it with one perfectly placed left hook, just as he started that one to the body, then brought it up, and it landed squarely on the chin, and down went Charles, down and out, and his title went maybe forever. Walcott trying to get that right hand in as round 5 ends. Here was the liveliest round of the entire fight, and where it looked as if there might well be a knockout, but Jersey Joe took charge and was forcing the fighting at the end, although there were stiff exchanges by both men and stiff punches landed by both men in this round. Let's watch it. Now it's Charles who has been trying to get in a right hand because he probably senses here that he is behind, which he definitely was at this stage of the fight. But Joe backs him up and makes him miss, and Charles flounders around, unsteady on his feet. Look at Walcott's legs, unbelievable for a man of his age. Joe knows how, when to rest, when to fight, when to punch. The burden of the proof is on the challenger now. Walcott's ahead. This is round 9. Ezzard must come on from here or else, and Joe gives him little chance. Good right hand by Charles. And so ends round 9. It was in this ring 26 years ago that Gene Tunney, in one of the great upsets of boxing history, took the heavyweight title from the supposedly invincible Manasseh Mauler, Jack Dempsey. That was the night it rained, and the greatest crowd in boxing history. More than 120,000 fans paid to see Gene and Jack fight. Even then, 26 years ago, this man that you're watching, Joe Walcott, was beginning to fool around with boxing gloves. And it was only 4 years later, or in 1930, that he started boxing professionally under his own name of Arnold Cream, or the ring name of Young Walcott. At that time, Jersey Joe was a lightweight or even a featherweight when he first started boxing. Only one other man in ring history ever grew to be almost a heavyweight after beginning that light, and that was Georges Carpentier, the Orchid Man of France. So Walcott has fought through almost all divisions, at almost all weights, now a full-fledged heavyweight, now the heavyweight champion, and now banging away at Charles again, trying to stop him, always trying to knock him out. Never to the end did Jersey Joe stop punching away. There's that right hand, and you could see Charles sag. That was a beauty. That was the punch that dropped Lewis repeatedly. It's a quick right lead, unorthodox, but Walcott throws it so quickly you can see him start it thin. And that was the left hook, very fast, but he throws that right so quickly that his opponent doesn't have much defense against it. Particularly, Charles didn't have any defense against it because he insisted on keeping his hands down after almost every break. For a good boxer, this is unusual and almost an unpardonable sin. There it was again, just missed. Well, there certainly was no crowd of over 100,000 for this fight. All of Jersey Joe's family, his 6 children and his wife were there. First time they'd ever seen him fight. And of course that helped swell the crowd considerably. And that's the round that So now we come to round 13, and from here, Charles has a high hill to climb. He's behind, and he knows it. And from the 13th through the 14th and the 15th, with his eye patch, Ezzard is throwing right hands and trying to land a knockout punch of his own. Try as he did, however, there's really not too much fire in Ezzard Charles. He hesitated, and he was lost. He was diffident, and even at the end, you could tell that he still respected Walcott's punching power. As well he may have. It was a good right hand that Charles got over then, but as you saw, Walcott came back fighting off of it, always fighting back, Maybe tiring a little bit now, but don't forget this is round 13. Almost all the experts said that if the fight ever reached this stage, that Walcott probably wouldn't be standing up just from sheer fatigue. You'll note that he is standing up, however. And knowing how to take care of himself, too. Nobody knows that better than Jersey Joe. He was hurt then with that right hand. You see his knees buckle a little bit. It was a good punch by Charles. But it's Joe that's trying to get the counter back. Even the score again if he can. At this juncture, nobody knew who was going to win the fight. Although the decision wound up being unanimous, they shake hands now for the last round. It was still very close, and both men thought they had a chance as the last round began. However, Charles just couldn't turn loose. He's still fiddling around, still dancing around. The burden of the proof is on him, but he doesn't prove it. Tried hard with a right and a left, and then back with a right to the body. But then he grabbed. Which is the way he, Ezzard, fights. A mechanical fighter, a good boxer, but no fire, no great spirit. He wanted that title back, but he waited. He danced around and not the old jigging man. And here's Joe still meeting him punch for punch, still holding his own, and this is almost the end of the fight. Pacing himself as he was throughout. Walcott, tired now, is still knows what to do, still can move around. Still makes Charles miss and keeps Ezzard at bay. So there they were, punching it out at the bell. Now they shake hands again, and Walcott walks part of the way to Charles' corner. A good sportsman always, old Joe. Now he comes back to his own corner, and we wait the verdict, which was, of course, a unanimous decision, and you will see in a minute who won it. There he is. Jersey Joe Walcott, still champion of the world, still ready to fight the next man. Who'll it be? Marciano, maybe. Matthews, maybe. Anyhow, old Joe will be there, and probably getting younger every day between now and then. Jersey Joe Walcott, champion of the world.